Hello folks, this is Sula speaking. You're listening to another video for Teamfight Tactics. This is taken from a double-up game played together with Antisocialmunky. We're starting to get more of the platinum banners here in double-up mode as we make our way up the ladder, although ASM hasn't played as many double-up games, so he's still only technically silver. In this game, we're going to be looking at an off-meta team composition, something that's not super popular in the current patch, and that is that we're going to be playing an Deadeye comp, which was very popular in the first patch, or the initial release version of Set 9, but has not really been getting played here in the first patch of Set 9. Okay, for our initial portal, 7 of the 8 players go to Scuttle Puddle, but it turns out it's the one player that wasn't over there who ends up having the portal picked. And so this is one of the Noxus portals that gives you it puts a little, I don't know what to call it, tile on the ground, and whoever stands there gets an item. This is one of the ones that doesn't have a huge effect on how the game plays out. It's basically a return from the elemental hexes from season number 2, for those who might remember all the way back in season number 2. Now, since I'm playing together with Antisocialmunky, the big advantage of playing a double-up game with Antisocial is you know what he's going to play because he only plays one composition, and that is a reroll team composition, typically based around Tristana. I guess technically he's played 2 reroll comps, one that is multicaster reroll and one that's Trist reroll. So I guess that's not entirely fair to say that he only plays one thing, but there's actually a fair bit of overlap between those 2 team compositions as well. I had a Viego that popped up immediately, so he's going to need Viegos for his team comp. So why not just send it instantly? Send it on the very first round of the game, because that unit send will cool down after 4 turns. We'll get it back again. Why not just give him a Viego right out of the gate? Because he's going to want to have 9 of them eventually anyway in this build. The Tristana reroll build wants 3-star Trist. It wants 3-star Maokai, because Maokai is the primary frontliner. And then it also wants to have a 3-star Viego because you want Shadow Isles trait, and you're going to be playing a lot of 1-cost units and trying to reroll them, so it makes sense to run that. Okay, now it turned out that Antisocial had ended up getting 3 Djinns in his store, and he just picked them all up for Djinn 2-star, and then I was like, what if I just play the Djinn 2-star here? That seems pretty good. I was thinking maybe I can just play a Deadeye opener, or I could just opt to stick with Deadeye the whole game. And I end up just sticking with Deadeye the whole game. Amusingly, the game gives me a Noxus crest here, but I'm actually glad I did not end up playing Noxus this game. We had actually done a game right before this, and I played Noxus in that game. I would have played it 2 games in a row. I don't have any problem with that, but the big issue here was that I don't really have Noxus champions. I have some Cassiopeias, but that's about it. And Cassiopeia is not a particularly important unit if you're going to be playing a Noxus team composition. You really want at least 1 Darius or at least 1 Katarina in your opener if you're going to play that. It also turns out that Noxus is pretty contested in this lobby. I believe there's 2 other people who end up playing it, so I would have been a 3rd person playing Noxus. And although the comp can kind of support 2 people playing it, it really can't support 3 people playing it. Just not enough units in the pool to have 3 different people trying to play Noxus, because that trait really does need to 3-star some of its key units, and there's only 18 Dariuses in the pool and 18 Katarinas in the pool, so 3 people cannot 3-star those units, just not enough. And what usually happens in a build like that, if 3 people are playing it, is everybody gets stuck on like 5 or 6 of the units, and you usually hold hands to a bottom 4 finish. Anyway, though, so I am up against this player here. They have a 2-star Renekton, and I can't really get through the 2-star Renekton with my board of 1 stars. I guess technically Jin's a 1-star, but he was unitemized there. I am hoping to get a better item for him, something that I can make here using the Ezreal Buried Treasure drop. And I ended up getting a bow there, so I'm going to go ahead, going to make the Rage Blade. Rage Blade was nerfed in this patch. It was the most popular item in the release version of Set 9. Not nearly as strong now. It's definitely been knocked back a bit, but it's still a super crucial item on Aphelios. It's still part of his core build. Not mandatory is the way it was in the previous patch, but it's still useful as part of his core build. And the other thing is, if I'm going to be playing Deadeyes, I don't really have much use for rods in this team composition. I did think about making a Last Whisper here because that's also an excellent item to have on, first of all, Jhin, and then later on a potential Aphelios down the road. But I don't really have much use for rods in this team composition. So the fact that I can use consume the rod to make a rage blade, I think is a better way of using that. That glove has a lot more use. The glove could be less whisper, it could be infinity edge, it could even be like Hand of Justice or Quicksilver Sash in a pinch, although those are definitely weaker options there. But I have more uses for that, so it gives me more options. And then my board pulls out this ridiculous win against another board that Antisocial was facing that I had no business winning, but the Jin 2-star with the stacked up Rage Blade is able to pull it out. So for the moment, I'm just playing Bruiser Frontline. This is, by the way, a comp that typically plays into Bruiser Frontline because you're going to run Ash on your board. And then in addition to having Ash, well, if you're running Ash, you probably want to run Sejuani so that you can get Freljord trait in play. And that is also a reason why Last Whisper is a little bit less necessary on this board because you're intending to play into Freljord trait later on. And then that will get the armor and magic resistant shred from the Freljord trait and make it easier to cut through those tanky front lines that other people are running. Now you'll note that the Hex is way up there in the second row. Most people are playing their carries in the second row. But I do not want to put Jin all the way up there. So I'm putting Ash on the Hex just so Ash will roll a free item of some kind. Kind of hilarious to see Ash standing there in the second row. I also was thinking about just to hold. I had both a belt and a vest on the bench. And I was considering whether I should whether to make an item there or if I should just sit and hold for the potential of making something else. But ultimately then in that round, I decided I'd make the Sunfire Cape because I think I would have lost that round if I hadn't made the Sunfire Cape and I wanted to keep my modest win streak alive. Sunfire Cape is not a bad item by any means. It's just more of an early game item. It will fall off as the game goes on, and that burning damage is not as valuable. The alternative would be to try to hold and try to make like Warmogs plus Bramble Vest, which I think is better if you can make that pair. But there is advantage to just getting the items in play as soon as possible. Doing that item slam, as we tend to say, so that you can start benefiting from those items immediately. All right, so because I made the Sunfire Cape, I don't take the belt. Otherwise, I might have taken the belt for Warmogs. Instead, I'm going to take the sword. It is on a 1 gold Kale, which is slightly disappointing, but it's going to allow me to make Infinity Edge, and I'm happy to do that for Jin. Infinity Edge, quite good on Jin. He no longer gets the guaranteed crit on his 4th attack as he did in some of the previous sets. So Infinity, it's not as mandatory on him as in some of the previous sets, but it's still not bad on him by any means. All right, now I've gotten my item send back, or unit send, not item send. You no longer send items across. And you notice I get it back here on 2-5 because I used it immediately at the beginning of the game. And I'm just going to use it to send another Viego over there. I asked Antisocial Monkey, did he want a... I have not seen any Tristanas yet, which is a little sad because I would like to help him try to make Trist 3-star, which is probably the most important unit for his build. But I did not see any Tristanas, so we're trying to make use of these unit sends as quickly as possible so that they will go on cooldown and then come off cooldown. So I asked him, do you want a 1-star Viego or do you want a 1-star Maokai? And he said the Viego would be more useful, so that's what I sent over. But I will hold the Maokai on my bench in the hopes that maybe I can make a 2-star Maokai and send that over to him. By the way, we were able to go ahead win this round. I've been able to continue win streaking here, and I think my board's actually in relatively decent shape. It definitely could be stronger here. I'm playing 3 Bruiser for lack of a better option. I don't really have another unit that would go in. I think in theory the best thing I could do would be to try to play into Ionia because that's Jin's other trait in addition to Deadeye, and it would be nice if I could get that trait in for him somehow. But I haven't really seen that many Ionian units. I mean, I've seen a couple, but nothing all that critical. So for the time being, I'll just play the extra Bruiser, and then that will give us the option to maybe play 4 Bruiser on level 6 if I can't find something better to play. For now, Rek'Sai is just rolling an extra item for herself. Rek'Sai is not really a tank, by the way. I mean, she has the Bruiser trait, so you might think, oh, well, she's probably a tank, but she's kind of a melee DPS more than a tank per se. And so I'm happy to have her roll some kind of offensive item and, help out in the overall role there. So I was able to continue win streaking, and I am able to I lost that first round against the person who had the initial 2-star Renekton, but I have a 2-star Renekton as well, and I've been able to win streak ever since then. So I'm pretty happy with how Stage 2 has gone. Somehow we are top health in the lobby, which really is surprising because the reroll board that Antisocial's playing is very weak at the start of the game. I think that my board's been able to cover for him reasonably well, although I have prevented him from lust streaking for econ, which is probably what he would prefer to do. But, I mean, I guess if he can win streak, it's even better. But I think he's been like a mixture of wins and losses. He is quite rich. I believe he's at 40 gold already because he's just been turbo econing because what he wants to do is save up as much gold as possible and then do a level 4 roll down on the beginning of the next stage on 3-1, which is the last round that you can get. The very last round that you can get, what's the word I'm looking for? It's the last round before you are mandatory level 5, and you still have the highest odds to hit 1-cost units. I think you still have, it's like 65% odds to hit 1 cost on level 4 or something like that. So he's going to roll down here. Oh yeah, he managed to get up to 50 gold, which is the point. But I believe he's going to send me an action here, and just because he managed to find an action. And one of the things about this board, if you're going to play Deadeyes in this patch, you really would like to try to 3-star action if at all possible. And we're going to be looking to try to do that here in this game as well. So I found one, and then I believe he's going to find one as well. I would look to play 4 bruisers here, but I have not found another bruiser. Yeah, he's going to send me the action here. And that's because we just want his champion send to start going back on cooldown again. So he might as well just send the unit right now. This does give me an action pair, and I remembered that I did get a champion duplicator from, I think it was the last minion round. So I've got this champion duplicator on my bench. I was like, what if I just make action 2-star right now? The alternative would be try to hold until I'm able to make, try to make what? Like if I have 8 actions and then I can champion duplicate for the 9th one for 3-star, but that doesn't seem nearly as useful as just making use of this champion duplicator immediately. Like why hold on my bench for like the entire game and try to cap up my board higher? Let's just get some early board strength right now in the hopes that we can 3-star action or 2-star action right now and kind of punish people in the mid game. All right, anyway, here I'm going to roll through these. I didn't see anything I like, so I'm going to take the Ezreal option here. Tiny grab bag, which is going to give me another item and a remover. The remover is nice. That means that I can now item remover the items off of Jhin instead of having to sell Jhin. And then I was like, all right, yeah, let's just make the action 2-star. Why not? That's going to make my board very strong here. I do have the kind of weird setup of 3 Bruiser, 3 Deadeye, which is, not really what you're looking for. Obviously, I would prefer to have 4 Bruiser, 2 Deadeye, or 2 Bruiser, 4 Deadeye, because I'm not really getting the benefit of these traits. But there is a lot of value just in playing strong units. I have 3 Deadeyes, and they're all 2-starred. So that's pretty good at this stage of the game. Even though I'm not up to Deadeye 4 trait, they're all going to do quite a bit of damage. I actually think that my frontline situation is a little bit weaker. But looking around like this, the Renekton already has Dragon's Claw Sunfire, and he rolled a Warmogs as his extra item. So he is super duper tanky in this round, and that just provides space for the Deadeyes to kill everything using their various Deadeye procs and also the items that happen to be on Jhin. So yeah, pretty happy with that. Now I'm going to go over to ASM's board, although it looks like he had that round anyway. He is on 7 Maokais, 7 Viegos, so he's getting pretty close there. The one thing he has not found is Tristanas. He only has 3 Trists so far, which is not great. I have not seen a single Tristana in my store the entire game, so I've not been able to help him out there, but it just wasn't in the cards so far. So we're trying to play around his lack of Trists by filling in other stuff right here. I'm going to get my send back, so I was like, do you want, I can send you a Maokai, or I can try to hold. I was like, what do you want me to do with this? And I believe I just sent in the Maokai because I think he's on. I think he's very close on the Maokais. I will take out the 1-star Rek'Sai and put in Lissandra because I want to get the shred there. And there we go. I'm going to send in the Maokai. So at least that gets into 8 Maokais. Now he just needs to find one more. And there we go. So my sends have not been super effective thus far. I sent 1-star Viego, 1-star Viego, 1-star Maokai. But I mean, it did still help at least a little bit around the edges. And we have used it pretty much the instant it came off cooldown. So that's why even though it's only 3-3, we've been able to already send 3 units back and forth. So even though, like I said, I was not able to send any 2-stars, I mean, hitting Maokai 3-star is actually really important for this build. The most important units are Triss 3-star, followed by Maokai 3-star. And very good itemization on the Maokai that Antisocial's put on there. Gargoyle Stoneplate plus the Dragon's Claw plus the Warmogs. Looks like the Dragon's Claw was rolled by the Noxus Hex. But yeah, I mean, pretty good stuff right there. So that is a very tanky unit, especially with Shadow Owl's trait kicking in. Okay, we have another carousel here. We are in last place, so we have last pick. Rest of the lobby is very tight right now. 74 health, 69 health, 68 health. We're just kind of out in front of the rest of the lobby, and I've been win streaking with my board, which has resulted in a lot of econ. I had a super close round against one of the Noxus boards, but I've been able to hang in there after that. Here, I did not really want a tier. Tiers are not very useful for this board, so I'm just going to go ahead and take the cloak and hope that I can do something with it later on. Here we're going to have one of the gift rounds, so Antisocial is going to send me something. And out of the different options, I think I had Component Anvil, I think I had Tier 3 champions. I'm going to take the Training Dummies option. And so the reason for this is when you're playing Deadeyes, this is basically a stall comp. You're basically trying to provide enough frontline to stall for your Deadeyes to kill everything. So having the Training Dummies is actually pretty helpful here because I just need more time for them to get off more Deadeye procs and kill all the enemy units. So Training Dummies, oftentimes I try to take like item components here, but just depending on like if you're playing Challengers, you wouldn't want the Training Dummies. Challengers are not going to benefit from the Training Dummies because they need to go heavy offense so they can get resets and kill the enemy team. But you know, when you're playing a backline DPS comp like this, you basically just are trying to protect the Deadeyes, and so the Training Dummies are going to do that and just give me a little bit of extra frontline. For right now, the Renekton's fine, but Renekton is going to fall off. I'm going to need to replace him with Sejuani. If I can get all those same items on Sejuani, I'll be pretty happy. But the tank lane is probably going to be, it might be 4 Bruisers, depending on what I find. But yeah, I mean, I don't have a super tank like 3-star Maokai back there, so additional frontline is definitely going to be helpful here. All right, so now we're going to have the other gift round in the opposite direction. I'm going to have the chance to send something over to ASM. I can send him the Training Dummies, a Spatula, Component Anvil, 2 Tier 3 champions. He also is playing a build that doesn't really benefit that much from Spatula, so I believe he takes the Training Dummies as well for additional frontline. So we're the Training Dummy pair right here. I've also managed to find a Zeri, so I can send that over to him. That's going to be probably the most useful next send, because ASM has stayed at a low level. Rerolling, it's a little bit harder for him to find 4 and 5 cost units. So if I can supply him with Zeris and Sennas, that's going to help his board out a fair bit. Now, I really want to win this round because I'm on an 8-match winning streak here. If I can win this round, I will be able to carry that into the minion stage and keep that econ high. So it's actually quite important that I win this round. I was actually scouting these boards. I was like, can I beat these other players? And my thinking was, I believe I can. I think I'm stronger than both of the boards I can match up with. They're both different types of Noxus boards, but I thought that I could beat both of them. So this is a kind of a greedy play here, staying at level 6 instead of leveling to 7. So I'm hoping that I'm not going to get called on this. There is a very tanky Swain on the other board. The good news, though, is where's the damage on this board? There's very little damage. Their items are on a, what's the name? A Samira, and she's just not a very strong unit in this particular set. She's a 1-cost challenger, but that person I don't think had much in the way of challenger trait in. And so we're able to end up beating that board and end up winning the round. So I'm going to go ahead and put in the Vi, and then I'll put in the Rek'Sai to go back up to 4 Bruisers again. I would prefer to play 4 Deadeyes here, but I have to find either an Aphelios or I have to find a Urgot in order to make that happen. Well, while we're on the minion round here, I will read the official description for Deadeye trait just to cover that. Deadeyes have innate +1 range. So when the trait's in play, they get an extra tile of range. Every 3 seconds, Deadeyes attack the enemy with the highest percentage health and deal bonus damage. And the higher tiers of the trait, you deal more bonus damage. So they will pick out whoever has the highest HP, and every 3 seconds, they'll hit that target. Now, there's finally a Trist. I'm going to go ahead and roll here because I want to find an Aphelios so that I can get up to 4 Deadeyes. So I'm going to take out some of these units here. I want to get up to the 4 Deadeyes. I'm going to move my items over to the Aphelios. Let's see, what can I do here? So I want to put the bow on him. And then I want to try to reforge. I was like, what do I not need? I was like, I don't need the tier here. So let's see if we can just reforge the tier and see if we can get something better out of that. What can I get? And I get another bow. I was like, oh, okay, that's actually pretty good. So I already have plenty of bow stuff on Aphelios. I already have the Rage Blade plus another bow. I'm hoping I can get Last Whisper. I would very much like that for the Infinity Edge plus Last Whisper combo. So I'm going to put Rapid Fire Cannon on action here because he doesn't have any attack speed, and additional attack speed is going to be excellent on him. So I think this is a pretty good use of the items I have here, and the Reforger came in quite handy as well. So I'm up to 4 Deadeye now. At 4 Deadeye, the Deadeye procs deal 65% damage. So it's starting to hit pretty hard. And then, oh, look at this. Deadeye Crest. Do I want to play 6 Deadeyes? Normally, you cannot play 6 Deadeyes because there's only 5 Deadeyes in the game. I did consider the Bruiser Crest as well, though. Make it very easy to play 4 Bruiser. But I think 6 Deadeye is just better here. It goes from 65% damage up to 100 and, what was it, 100 something percent damage. You have to excuse me, my voice is a little scratchy right now. I've been feeling slightly under the weather. But yeah, 6 Deadeye, 140% damage. So more than doubles the benefit. And here I'm looking to send the Zeri over to ASM. I believe he actually can't play the Zeri yet on his board, but I wanted to get it. I wanted to get that over to him so that the send would start cooling down again. So remember, the sooner we use it, the sooner it's going to come back again. Now, as far as who makes a good +1 Deadeye, there's a number of good targets. You can try to take some of the gunner units and turn them into Deadeyes. That actually works pretty well. So like you can take Zeri and turn her into a Deadeye, and that's not that bad. Or you can try to take a unit like, I don't know, like Senna is not bad. You could try to play something like a late game like Rise or something like that. But I've had good success in the past just turning Lysandra into a Deadeye. She's not the most ideal target because she deals magic damage and Deadeye is a physical damage trait. So it's a little bit awkward. But the logic is you're going to play her anyway for Freljord. Why not just put the Deadeye emblem on her as well so you can get Freljord 3 in as soon as you find Sejuani. And that's really nice because you get the armor and magic resistant shred. And then what's the extra benefits for Freljord 3? You get you also get the mana reeve as well. So increases the mana cost of the next cast for anyone on the other team. Very, very nice. Anyway, I'm looking to go to level 8. I am on an 11 match win streak, so I am super rich. And so that means I should be able to get to level 8 after the stage 4 carousel, even though the cost to level is higher here in set 9. I can still get to level 8 with plenty of gold to roll, and I'm going to have much better odds to find some of the units I want there. I want to find more Aphelios. I want Aphelios 2-star. I want to find Urgot. I need Urgot for 6 Deadeye, and I want to find Sejuani so that I can get I can move these items from Renekton over to Sejuani, who's going to be a better user of them. This round's pretty close, but I think I've finally come up short. Oh, action. You got me? Never mind. I did end up winning after all. And that person's already rolled it down at level 8. So I'm in great position because they've already gone all in with their roll down. I have not rolled yet, and I still beat them anyway. Plus, I'm on 5 Deadeyes instead of 6. So I'm going to get presumably a lot stronger after this. Now that Aphelios is mostly itemized, I'm looking to get one more item for him. I would definitely like it if I could find something here that he could use. I don't think that I'm going to get an item for him here, though. I mean, I could make another Rage Blade, but I'm not really looking for that. So I just end up taking most expensive option available and take the tier. I guess in a worst-case scenario, I can make a Static Shiv. It's not amazing for this setup, but I will make that if I don't have any other options. Okay, let's go ahead and do our roll down and see what we can hit here. So far, I found another Aphelios. There's 2-star Lysandra. That's nice. There is Cassante here, but I don't think he quite fits this board. So let's continue rolling. We really want Urgot. That's kind of what we're looking for above everything else. Great units here, but not ones that I'm playing. All right, Aphelios 2-star is really big. One of my top units. I'm getting a lot of Aatroxes. That's not the 4 cost I want. So I'll just put the, the Rek'Sai back in. But I don't think that that's really what I'm looking for here. The echoes were because Antisocial had said to hold echoes for his board, that I think he potentially could use them here. Anyway, did you see the Deadeye procs all hit the Aphelios in the back lines? It didn't do quite enough damage to kill that person. And this person is actually also playing a Deadeye board, which is kind of weird. Hardly anyone plays Deadeye in this patch. It's very much an off-meta comp, but I am actually being contested here. This is someone who took Recombobulator, and it kind of recombobulated into a Deadeye board. So a little bit unlucky for me that I'm being contested here in this lobby. Kind of wish that was not what they were playing. Usually you just have free run on Aphelios, but you saw I did 2-star him very easily because very few people play him in the lobbies anymore. All right, good news is I find Senna, so I'll be able to send that over to Antisocial, who did just hit his Tristana 3-star recently. So I'll be able to send that over, and he'll be able to play Senna as his next gunner in. And then there's another action. So, excuse me, I've not really been finding the actions so far. I'm only on 4 of them, but I am hoping that I can find them. All right, so once I find the Urgot, we're going to play the Urgot over the Rek'Sai. And I did find a Sedge. I actually found double Sejuani. but I didn't have quite enough time to get them in. So that means I can sell the Rek'Sai, I can sell the Cho'Gaths. That was for the 4 Bruiser option, but now that I have found the pieces of my team, I no longer am going to play 4 Bruiser. It's going to be 6 Deadeye now. It's going to be 6 Deadeye, 2 Freljord, 2 Bruiser, and I have, 3 Freljord. Once I get Sejuani in, I'm going to have an extra rank of Freljord. And yeah, I play someone who has hit 8 Void, but I still beat them, and I beat them pretty easily, honestly. So that's a great sign. My board can get way stronger. Although we do actually, what is this? We lost that Euro match round, but yeah, I'm just kind of been cruising here. I'm on a 14 match winning streak, which is just awesome. So I did it the 2-star Aphelios pretty easily. Now I'm looking to itemize action. I will pick up additional Aphelios as well. You actually have decent odds to 3-star Aphelios in most lobbies nowadays, just because people don't play the Deadeye units anymore. But that said, there's another person who's playing Aphelios, so it's going to be hard to hit the 3-star Aphelios because they're taking Aphelios out of the pool as well. That said, I'm still going to grab them because I have the outside chance of 3-starring it, and it'll grief the other player. So there is that as well, but it will make it harder for them to hit. All right, I get a glove. That's awesome. That's going to allow me to make a Last Whisper, which is what I wanted. And then, hey, in addition to that, I also find another action there. So now we're going to move our tank items over to Sejuani. I really just want one more Sedge. And out of these leftover items, I have like some tears. I was like, I guess I'll go ahead and make a Shojin for Urgot here. Probably should make this for action, in all honesty, because action, a little bit better unit. I'm actually close to action 3-star, so I really should probably be itemizing action, not Urgot. That was probably a mistake, just so probably should have put the Shojin on him. He is rolling an extra item for free, and I should be able to get another item in this gift round. Like this round, he rolled a Last Whisper. So I actually have double Last Whispers, plus I have Freljord trait. So armor is kind of meaningless on the enemy side with all of this armor shred. We kind of cut right through the entire enemy team. Also, look at those Deadeye procs. We got the Kaisa down to like 10% HP, but then she gets finished off. My biggest weakness right now is frontline. The Deadeye units are doing a tremendous amount of damage, but I'm not very tanky because I still just have the 1-star Sejuani. So I definitely need to get 2-star Sedge, and that's the reason why I'm still rolling here on level 8, because I need the 2-star Sejuani. If I have 2-star Sejuani, I could consider just going to level 9. But until I have that, I really can't do so safely. By the way, there's another action, so that's 8 actions now. And there's a Senna in my store, so I was like, oh, wow. I can send if I can get one more, I can actually send a 2-star over to Antisocialmunky. Right now, I'm going to get gifted an item. It's an IS for the Orin item, and I'm going to get Deathfire Grasp, which is kind of a weird item. I wasn't sure who to put this on. I didn't have a great user on it, but it's actually pretty decent on action. This was Grillo's suggestion. Grillo was watching us on kind of the live stream, on the local Discord live stream. And Grillo was like, yeah, just put it on action. It's pretty decent on him. So what does Deathfire Grasp actually do? By the way, there's 3-star action and 2-star Senna. What the heck? I was like, hey, Antisocial, I can just send you a 2-star Senna right now. So as soon as the Champion Sen cools down, I'm going to send that right over to him. Anyway, we'll get back to Deathfire Grasp. I'll look up the official description in a minute. But yeah, now that we have 3-star action, when he rolls stuff like he rolled a Deathblade this round, those Deadeye procs just do so much damage when they all hit the same target. So we're up against a Noxus board, but yeah, it's not enough. We actually knocked them out when they're on 8 Deadeyes. Remember I said there were several people contesting Noxus in this lobby? Yeah, because there were people contesting Noxus units, that person wasn't able to hit Deadeyes 3-star. And we just run right through his board like it's not even there. All right, and then look at this. There's actually the Radiant item send. This is pretty rare that you have a Radiant option send. You only see it, I think, maybe like 10% of the time, something like that. So I could also send an Orin item anvil, but I'm just going to send the Radiant item because I can actually afford it here. It does mean I have less gold to roll with for the Sejuani, but I just sent ASM a Radiant item and, in addition to that, a 2-star Senna. So, yeah, not bad, right? Not bad. He ended up getting a Radiant Zeeks, which is actually a decent item for his comp. And he's going to use it to power up the Senna right now. Okay, so I did end up getting a Deathfire Grasp. So let me just go ahead and cover what that item did. This is a new item. I don't believe this was in the previous set. Deathfire Grasp. All right, combat start. The holder fires a blast of energy at the target, marking them. Deals 20% of their maximum health as magic damage. For the next 8 seconds, the holder's abilities and attacks deal 50% increased damage to the marked target, 25% increased damage to other targets. So note that it does extra damage to the marked target, but it doesn't say extra magic damage. The item gives ability power, gives mana and ability power, but it just says deals 50% increased damage to the marked target, 25% increased damage to all of the other targets. By the way, I got a little unlucky there. I lost to the other person who's playing Deadeye trait with the 4 Freljord. So I finally had my win streak come to an end after like 15 rounds, something like that. But as I said, my board is still scaling up, still getting stronger. I think I can still do more here. All right, so I'm going to grab another item. The action's fully itemized, so now we're itemizing Urgot. I wouldn't have minded the Titans, but that got snapped up. So instead, I'm going to go ahead and grab the Edge of Night, which is not going to be too bad on the Urgot. It'll allow him to drop aggression in the fights. Was it antisocialmunky was able to take the Zeri over there. So just going to continue grabbing these Aphelios. I'm up to 5. Oh, I put it on action. Huh. I think I should have put that on Urgot. Now he's not going to roll a free item. That was kind of silly. Yeah, I think that was a mistake. I must have forgotten that he was rolling a free item every round. Whoops. I think I totally forgot he was rolling a free item on the little Noxus portal every single round. So, oh well, that is definitely a mistake right there. Should have put that on Urgot instead. He would have been much better. He would have. He could have just used Edge of Night a lot better. Backline units don't really need Edge of Night that badly. I mean, I guess it lets them drop aggression, but they usually don't get. Usually, if they're getting focused, you've lost the fight anyway. So. It is always fun watching the Deadeye procs, though. A lot of the backline units just die instantly when the Deadeye procs go off and kill them. Like, we took out like 80% of Callista's health there. This fight's relatively close, but Action, I think, has got this. And, yeah, we lose the whole front line, but the back line is still intact, and that's going to knock that person down to 1 HP. Now we're going to go over here and join ASM's board, which is also very much online at this point now. He's got Heimer in for his 3. And there we go. There's the 2-star Sedge. That was really the last piece that I'm missing here. You note that I'm playing Vi with it. The reason for that is Vi does also have another armor shred as well. So I think Vi's a little bit better than, say, Rek'Sai. Or what were the other options? I guess I could play Cho, but no, I haven't been stacking up Cho the whole game, so Cho's not good. Again, Rek'Sai is less of a tank. She's more of an off DPS, so don't think I want her per se. I would love to have Scion, but there's actually quite a few Scions out of the pool. I think there's like 2 or 3 of them out, and I haven't seen Scion pop up yet. So I will replace the Vi with Scion if I see it, but in the meantime, I think this is a decent unit to play just to get Bruiser trade in. Anyway, wow, the Deadeye procs just deleted one of those units in the back line. We almost killed the Kaisa as well. So yeah, I'm hoping that we can get my units to focus on her as well. Action, you got me. Yep, Action's got me. So we're going to burst through the front line, get that unit. And even though, yeah, we're going to end up winning this. By the way, this is actually, what is that, 4 teams on the board right now. Antisocial won his round, and this person's partner won their round as well. But we're still going to win the big brawl at the end. Action and Aphelios are both doing like 7,000 to 8,000 damage in these fights. Well, I guess now I still need the 2-star Urgot as well. I'm still just on the 1 Urgot, but most of my board has been hit at this point. So if I can hit the Urgot, I could look to go level 9, but like look at this lobby there. There's only 3 health left on this other team, so probably not worthwhile trying to go to level 9. Probably makes more sense just trying to roll and hit the Urgot 2-star for the last unit I need. And I guess Vi if I would happen to hit her, but Vi's not really that important for this board. It's just up there to stand there and tank. All right, so we're going to get one more item. Now, again, I'm looking to pull something for Urgot here. What can I get? It's like, Titans. That's a good item for Urgot. So let's go ahead and look to roll for that. Let's see, 222. Can we find this last Urgot that we're still missing? I don't need Ash. I'm not going to hit Ash 3-star. There we go. Okay, so I do finally manage to hit that unit. All right, the Spear of Shojin's not really a good Urgot item, but the Titans is pretty good. If I had Titans plus Edge of Night and then he was rolling another item on the Hex, that would probably be ideal here. All right, I'm going to be up against the Deadeye mirror match. This person, again, is 4 Deadeye and 4 Freljord. I'm 6 Deadeye, 3 Freljord. I think 6 Deadeye is definitely better in this comparison. His Urgot is itemized a bit better than mine is. But again, I have the 6 Deadeye, and I have a 3-star action where this person does not have 3-star action. So I don't think they're actually playing action at all on this board. So, I mean, we're going to cut through them. Frontline dies relatively fast, and we're going to win this round without too much trouble. Aphelios and action still intact. Urgot surprisingly still alive, despite being a melee unit. So now there's not really much point in doing anything other than rolling. There's the Vi. Okay, we can probably stop there. So I did manage to 2-star my whole board, and I was able to 3-star the action here before the end of things. Now I'm back to the Void board. This board is certainly not bad. They do have the Baron in, but they actually have quite a few 1-stars on their board. Like they have 1-star Yasuo with a Void Crest, 1-star Bel'Veth. They have a 2-star Kaisa, but she only has Challenger 2 in, so her damage is not that high. And yeah, I mean, this board is not bad, but I think what I have is just better. I've been winning against this board every time. In fact, I think I've won like 19 of the last 20 rounds. I think the only one I lost was that mirror match against the other Deadeye player where I think I got a little bit unlucky with the Deadeye procs. But anyway, yep, so we're cutting through things. Can we hit the Kaisa? She's kind of the only unit we need to take out here. Action, you got me. Once again, action's got me. So now it's just the Baron. Baron goes down. That's going to wrap it up. We both win our rounds. It's going to be a pretty comfortable victory here. So I wanted to show this game because I wanted to feature a Deadeye board in a meta where Deadeye is very much not being played by most people. This is really an off meta build here in terms of the Deadeye trait. And I was actually contested this game, which was kind of shocking. Normally no one is playing Deadeye, and it's just pretty easy to two-star all your units. But I didn't really have much trouble two-starring my units anyway. We were strong throughout the game, and we were able to go on the big win streak, which fed us enough econ to get to higher levels where my board could take over and ASM could hit his reroll targets. Anyway, thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. Hope this was a fun video to watch. Until next time, hope everybody's having a great week. Take care, folks.